G'day and welcome to the first episode of this Fanyumnakan 2019 Triton TV News. I'm your host, Shannon Atta.
And I'm Amanda Finanya. On today's show, we will visit the UOG Sexual Assault Outreach event to see the university's efforts in spreading awareness. After that, we'll stop by the Guam Art Exhibit, or GAX, to find out how local artists are trailblazing the art scene on island.
Before we get into today's feature stories, we want to share with you about a program led by the Micronesian Area Research Center, or MARC. The Guam History Day competition encourages learning about Guam history. It's a competition for middle and high school students to develop research projects and possibly win the chance to represent Guam in the National History Day competition in Washington, D.C. this coming June. Students like Matias Calvo, senior at Father Duenas High School, are excited to participate in the competition. FD is one of 2 schools that integrate GHD into its curriculum. This is Calvo's 3rd year competing.
We're researching these topics, we're learning about these topics in depth, and sort of delving into it deeper than like a normal lesson would be.
Calvo took first place in the high school individual documentary category. In fact, 4 of the 9 first place winners in the high school division came from FD. For organizers at University of Guam's MARC, curriculum inclusion is not a requirement. Levon Meno, administrative officer at MARC, says that if a student comes from a school that doesn't make the program a part of its curriculum, they can still join by getting a teacher to sponsor them.
Not all schools have that opportunity to pick up the program and include it into their curriculum. So we have some schools that actually the kids work independently.
Meno and Calvo encourage more schools to join the program in the hopes to inspire kids to preserve our history and become stewards of our culture. This year, 9 schools participated. In the national competition in previous years, the projects from Guam have done very well, ranking as high as 3rd place overall. Now, students who won first in their category and scored high enough in the island-wide competition are preparing their projects for Washington, D.C.
The MARC not only leads the Guam History Day program, but also hosts the MARC Seminar Series, a program of lectures on topics relevant to both Guam and Micronesia. Their latest presentation focused on native birds, such as the cocoa bird. But only a handful of people attended. Low attendance poses a challenge to MARC's recent initiative to attract a broader audience to their environmental-based presentations. The latest MARC speaker, Celestino Ugin, expressed that this is nothing new.
To tell you the truth, anything to do with science and that aspect of information is always challenging when it comes to getting turnout.
For MARC's Seminar Series chairwoman, Arlene Steffi, the lack of attendees is understandable.
In addition to having to raise a family or having to come to the university to go to school at night after work, that's a long day.
To address this issue, Steffi is offering alternative ways to make these presentations available to the island community, which she believes is an effective way to reach those unable to attend.
When we allow these lectures to be produced and sit on a rotation at the legislature or on KOM's television channels or on YouTube, people can then go back to them or catch them as they're getting ready because they rotate, and then they pick up things that they really didn't and wouldn't do if they sat in the lecture hall.
Recordings of the MARC series lectures are available online, with each video averaging around 70 views. So far, their most viewed video is a seminar featuring Dr. Robert Underwood.
This month is Sexual Assault Awareness, and UOG hosted an important outreach to students. As reporter Bradley Bartonico points out, help is out there.
In honor of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, agencies from the community attended the UOG Sexual Assault Outreach to inform students on accessible services for them if they ever face sexual assault. UOG student Alina Butler, an attendee of the event, explains why sexual assault is an important issue for UOG.
I do know a lot of classmates of mine who have been sexually assaulted, not necessarily on campus, but here on Guam. And so I think also it can be a UOG issue because here, where we spend a lot of time with our education, is where we should learn a lot about sexual assault, how to prevent it, any sort of tactics, and then the help that we can utilize if something happens or something happens to a friend or family member of ours.
As a social work major, Butler is aware of the stigmas that sexual assault victims can face.
Here at the Sexual Assault Outreach, students can learn more about resources they can use when faced with these situations.
Butler walks around to each agency, learning more about the resources that are available to her and her friends. She herself has even faced sexual assault.
It was really a difficult experience for me, and it really did traumatize me. because in a way after it happened, I didn't feel like I could tell anyone about it.
Agencies like Erica's House, Ali Shelter, Guam Mami, and more were in attendance at the outreach. UOG graduate Benelin Naputi came to the outreach as a part of the Ali Shelter to tell students of help that her agency offers to the community. She recalled the impact of the sexual assault case by a UOG faculty member when she was an attending student.
Part of me felt embarrassed that a psychology professor would do such a thing, but it also strengthened me to spread even more awareness with sexual assault on campus.
According to the National Violence Resource Center, 1 in 5 women are sexually assaulted while in college. In an effort to combat this, UOG offers mandatory sexual misconduct training every academic year, as well as campus resources like counseling for students. However, some students feel like UOG could do more. Outreach organizer and social work student Selena Edquilani agrees with that sentiment.
With the classes I take, we never really talk about it, or unless, well, social work, we do touch base on it, but I believe in the other classes I've taken here, like, we don't talk about sexual assault, and I think that should be talked about in the beginning of the class when they discuss about, when they go over the syllabus and everything.
Social work services here at UOG look to hold more outreaches like this in the future. This is Bradley Bartonico, Triton TV News.
Thanks, Bradley. If you would like to learn more about resources available to you as a student, you can contact the Violence Against Women Prevention Program at 735-2890 or email them at vawpp@triton.uog.edu.
After the commercial break, we will take a look at the 2 island-wide art events bringing together artists to showcase creativity and culture, so stay tuned.
They say there are 2 kinds of people in this world. Those who find themselves, and those who create themselves. Are you looking for purpose, or deciding it for yourself? Will you plunge waiting for someone to catch you, or will you jump and build your wings on the way down? Seek a path, or carve a path. Wait for the future, or build it. What is a school but a set of walls waiting for greatness? And who are you but someone destined to achieve it? Here, between the street and the jungle, against time and tide, we push and pull just like the currents. Our ocean of dreams will meet the odds ahead and rise above it all.
Welcome back to Triton TV News. Have you ever noticed those colorful murals while driving on the streets of Guam? Well, those murals were made possible by various artists. Reporter Kayla Yatta explores how these annual art events play an important role for the island.
An organization known as Powwow Worldwide made its way to Guam. The organization specializes in bringing different artists together to engage in the broader community. Powwow Guam has already managed to display over 11 murals around the island. Rom Daco, a local artist behind one of the murals, explains why he enjoys contributing to the art on Guam.
Seeing paintings like around Guam, especially like stuff you've never seen before, is kind of inspiring. I think so. To me, it's like, it's like nice to see, like, instead of like a blank wall, you see some color, you see some life.
Jeff Ejin was an aspiring local artist when he got a wake-up call from a Japanese tourist during an art show he did back in the day.
Like a Japanese tourist couple, they were like saying they've been here 20 to 30 years, and this is the first time they've actually seen Guam's culture, and that is very embarrassing.
Years later, Ejin, along with other local artists, created the Guam Art Exhibit.
The Guam Art Exhibit and Powwow Guam's collaboration provided an outlet for artists to express themselves, and that happens right here at GAX.
GAX is located on the second floor of the plaza across the currency exchange. One of Powwow Guam's curators, Marina, shares what she believes to be the hardest part of trying to put together something for the public.
Like, we've had to constantly think about what do we want to do for the island, and how do we achieve that by partnering up with different people at the same time. So the FestPack, they partnered up with the FestPack artists, and then after that, Powwow came along, and then we've just been trying really hard to make sure that we can. We've been trying really hard to partner up strategically.
The art scene on Guam is currently growing and continuing to thrive, with the help of the determined individuals working hard to ensure the island's culture and talent doesn't die. Kayla Iata, Triton TV News.
Thanks, Kayla. We look forward to seeing next year's art displays and murals.
In recent news, the bill for legal recreational marijuana use on Guam was recently passed. Will the community be expecting to see stories that openly sell marijuana products? Businesses like vape shops have begun to show interest in entering the cannabis market. However, for some vape shops, the idea of selling marijuana products is not in their current plans. According to VapeBee's co-owner, Rochelle Kabigting, the mission of the business is the reason they will not have cannabis items on their shelves.
I would probably, in my opinion, I think it's best to keep dispensaries a dispensary alone, just selling marijuana-related products, and vape shops selling vape-related products.
For some members of the vaping community, marijuana products being in vape shops is a positive for them. UOG student Kayla Iata gives her reason on why she supports the idea.
I guess vape shops having or like selling marijuana, that would be more convenient than having to like hunt down a person that does sell it, since vape shops are so like plentiful around the island and stuff.
Currently, the bill limits the age of recreational marijuana consumption to 21 years and older. While Kabigting says that their vape shops won't sell marijuana products, they would branch out and create a separate store if they do plan on selling it.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Triton TV News. I'm Shannon Atta.
I'm Amanda Finanya, and we hope to see you next time.